fellow patriots, welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. It is Tuesday, I believe February 21st a.m. and I'm outside of Chattanooga heading towards Roll Tide Roll, the state of Alabama, and I'll be there this week, heading home Friday if all goes well. And I wanted to take a minute to chat with you and drop another video. This will drop later this evening, of course. You won't know the difference because you'll see it when you see it. And I wanted to talk to you about maybe the best way to say it is what comes next. So if you watched the last video on One Nation, Two Ideologies, and read the newsletter Friday, hopeforsurvival.com, edition number 245, I think it should be. I laid out a lot of reasons why my thinking is what it is. If you have time, go check it out. And if not, that's fine too. So, probably 10 or so years ago, in hundreds of hours of research and putting a puzzle together, Festus and I kind of come to the conclusion of the years out, which is where we are now, that there would be pieces falling into place that is going to separate the compliant from the patriot, prepares, constitutional mindset, faith-based types. Two distinct differences in these two types, two ideologies again. And a couple years ago, year or two ago, during the era, we got to witness lockdowns and how easy it was for the big G during that time to go into a state of emergency and some level of lockdowns, ordering people to stay at home. Then we would go out to buy a few items, and you would see controlled entry points, only so many folks at a time into the stores. And there was a period in some states where if you went to a hardware store, you were not allowed to go into the areas where you could buy seeds for gardening, and so on and so forth. Some believe that may have been kind of a trial run to how many people would be compliant on both sides, both ideologies. Churches closed down. The majority of them closed down. A few of them into the period start opening back up, and in some states in Canada, I believe, they started arresting pastors, and they even tried to go so far as to get church attendance rosters to see who may be attending, and it went on and on and on. But it was a major attention distractor. Millions of people were following along to this. There were many during the tail end of that period, there were many who believed that the thing that poked you, jabbed you, was distributing some form of the beginning or a remnant that in the future could be used to track or even to separate the compliant with those who refuse to take it. Going forward, based on things that are out there, things that are falling into place, and some conversations, there still has to be a mechanism to separate the compliant from the non-compliant. This all falls into the whole Agenda 2030, One World Government, DEI. How are we going to ensure equality amongst the masses if we have one segment, several million people who are preparers, patriots, constitutionalists, faith-based, who maintains a different ideology from the current ideology of the regime in power? And one of the things that I've heard recently in this area is, first let me backtrack. December of 2022, in the newsletter, or maybe in one of our platforms, Zoom, I talked about a lot of future technology that was going to demand that people be tracked from point A to point B. This is from home to a store, from home to a workplace, and so forth. And to some degree, they were using this during the early stages of the C virus to determine during spring break of 2020 how folks were in masses on a beach when they were in a soft lockdown. And there was technology that already existed that was able to do that, but technology is far advanced now in 4 years from what it was then. So one of the things that I've heard about is it is a biometric bracelet. So when a person goes to get on their computer, put in a password, go to an ATM machine, they go to buy food, they go to buy gasoline, any kind of business, healthcare, critical needs of humans, if you will. There's going to be a biometric type bracelet, and instead of typing in passwords, anyone can put in a password and access a terminal. However, it is simply a password that gets you past the first level into the information or whatever it may be. A biometric bracelet will be against your skin and the biometrics of you as an individual. There's no one like you. It's kind of like in the old days solving crimes, and they would look for swirls and loops in fingerprints, and no single person had the same swirls and loops in a print. So through the advancement of biometrics, they are now capable of using your biometrics that will be one, you, that has to have this bracelet against your skin to access all these critical needs um, of human needs. A device of this type is going to separate you from all others. That means without this device, you're not going to be able to access these critical needs. And these are things that we talked about over the last several years, is how are they going to separate the compliant from the non-compliant. And there may be more to this that comes out, more that follows. It is unknown at this time, and this is just a theory of this possibility. There are many around us who will be gung-ho for this type of technology. There are many around us who believe in a total open society. There are many around us who believe the more technology that is deployed, the safer that we will be, which in each of these steps of safety, you're giving up your liberties and your freedom. And there's some new programs out there that I'll talk about in the coming days and coming weeks, of other biometric programs that are going to be used to control not just what we have access to, but it's going to be used to control beef, poultry, pork, and so forth. That anything that is raised on the market to be sold to for human consumption is going to have to be registered and tracked as well. So they're not just going to be able to determine who you are, where you are, and what you're doing and what you have. They're also going to be able to do this with all of the resources. Okay? So, someone recently messaged me and asked the question, if the train is going off the cliff, then why not get off and enjoy life in the time we have? And that's a personal choice. That's a really tough question, because all of us are different. We have commonalities in believing in the Constitution, the Declaration, the Bill of Rights, and our faith, and loving America, the America we grew up on. But from that point on, we're in different locations, we're of different ages, we have different skills, we have different physical characteristics that allows us to do or not do things. We have or don't have financial means to prepare longer term to self-sustain. Where we're located at may or may not determine in how easy or hard it is to build communities around us, and vet people to have a community of vetted and trusted people who are all preparing for the long term and sustainability. A self-reliant person, a self-reliant family, and self-reliant communities. And a self-reliant community in the preparedness world is almost a 180 from everything we see in the self-sustained mindset, self-sustained communities, the self-sustained, almost could fall in line with the 15-minute cities, where the people are going to be tracked, controlled, and totally dependent upon a system where most people who prepare are trying to break off of that system for their own independent freedom to be self-sustained and provide for their own family however they wish to do that, whether it's to go to the store, whether it's to grow a garden, whether it's to buy your meat in a store from a farm or grow your own. The option of choices versus The self-sustained cities and 15-minute cities are going to eliminate that for the most part from everything that we can see, and to make you fully dependent upon a system, which means you're going to be controlled. Where you go, what you have, what you can get, the size space where you live, and so forth. So, as scary as some of this stuff seems, I would strongly encourage people to dig deeper in their faith. And if you're not a person of faith, I would strongly encourage you to be open-minded to the faith journey, as probably 90% or more of the folks who I know who prepare are people of faith. And our time here on earth, no matter what you believe or don't believe, we're all going to turn to dust and be gone at some point. And I can only speak for myself, but having my own faith and being surrounded a lot by people of faith, not all, but many people of faith, it provides me a comfort level that is fairly, it can be hard to explain in ways, but knowing that whenever my time comes to leave this earth, this all stays behind me, and there's a better place out there that through faith and everlasting life, certainly gives me a different perspective, I guess, on everything that we're witnessing here on earth, each day that we live. It is scary for people who have grandchildren. I know I can attest to that. Family, grandchildren. It's easy to say, well, we as grandparents that are being older, that we see things from a different perspective. That is true. However, something we have to keep in mind is the younger generations today, this is the system that they've been raised on. This is the education system they've been taught. So how we can often see aspects of DEI as being intrusive, insulting, and so forth, to the younger generation, this is the way they think and the way they've been taught, especially in a world where few homes have two parents, some homes have one parent, and many homes have no parents, and a grandparent or guardian is raising the children. So many people now are having to pick up second jobs just to survive the cost increases and everything, to try to keep life as normal as possible. And the number of people living payday to payday is increasing monthly. So my point is, there's far more people who are not having dinner as a family at least 3 to 5 times a week. So parents and guardians, they don't have the time to spend talking and building that level of trust with their children to know what's going on in their life, and more importantly, what's going on in their minds. So I would not encourage anyone to feel that what's ahead is hopeless. I think as long as we all stay grounded and stay focused, keep preparing, the longer the longevity that you build in your preparedness resources and plans, and the mental approach to it is going to be your backbone of you and your family and your community going forward. So I know when we started Hope for Survival 5 years ago, some of the things we talked about, people thought we were wacko and crazy because it was all conspiracy. And now, 5 short years later, many of the things we talked about then are realities today. And it was only because we had spent hundreds, if not thousands, of hours 10 or so years ago researching. Everything was there. It was in the clear. It's just no one wanted to go there because they still held out hope and faith in those that were in power, that we have entrusted with looking out for what's best for us as people and a nation our entire lives. And things are just different now. So don't give up. Keep the faith. Keep grounded. If you need a break from things, take a break from things. Find your happy place. Enjoy your life. Don't stop enjoying life. Every day that we live is a day in our past that we can't get back. So make the most of it. Surround yourself with good people. Do the best that you can, and keep on preparing. So if you like this video, please hit like, share. If you have like-minded folks, keep trying to pump people up and encourage them. It's so easy right now to fall into the doom and gloom. We cannot afford to get in that rut, and we got to keep our eye on people to make sure everyone stays uplifted, faithful, and moving forward. And if you have not subscribed to Hope for Survival YouTube, please consider doing so. We would be happy to have you and to help our channel grow. And the more people that we can educate on a path forward, I think the better off in the long run we're all going to be. Self-sustainability and not having to cross that line into a new system is going to be one of the goals for holding out, I guess. I don't know what's the right word there, but we'll say holding out, okay? So keep your faith, keep your head on a swivel, keep preparing, and be blessed, and most importantly, give thanks. Have a blessed day. Bravo Echo out.